Well, here we are with yet another exciting moment, or few moments. How long is a moment? That's a question a philosopher can ask of my thesis. What we're looking at here is actually an hour's worth of work which has been sped up to take place in around about 5 minutes, so it gives you an idea of the kind of thing I'm up to, which disturbingly enough isn't actually much in the way of thesis work. At the moment I'm typing away like mad, working on my contrast chapter, but as we're about to find out, very soon I'm going to get bored and I'll start playing with the preferences, start twittering and so forth. Essentially what I'm doing here is I'm once again fleshing out my notion of the official theory. So the last video you saw had a whole lot of this stuff, but as you can see I can do around about 15 minutes worth of work, maybe slightly less. Actually by slightly less I mean about 5 minutes worth of work, at which point I actually have to go and browse the internet or look at news or do other bits and pieces. I'm very easily distracted, and I actually found out today, having read a few studies, that actually multitasking is something which is actually a fairly bad thing. We're much better at doing tasks consecutively than we are actually multitasking, trying to do two tasks at the same time. So by constantly browsing the interweb, here I'm looking for Halo 3 to play on the Xbox 360 to once again use up large chunks of my time not working on my thesis. It would actually be much better to do tasks one after the other and devote ourselves solely to one task at a particular time. As you see, I've finished looking for Halo 3 and now I'm once again back to the actual thesis writing. In this particular chapter, I'm doing a fair amount of work trying to work out what it is that we mean by such things as official theory, received view, alternative views, and so forth. Actually, alternative views is not the right term at all. As you can see, there's absolutely no preparation for this video whatsoever, so I've talked about it in my mind. I haven't talked about it out loud, so it's all a wee bit bizarre and rambling. A lot like my thesis, actually. Funny story, I had a meeting with my supervisors this afternoon, and I walked in, we had a nice long chat, and then one of my supervisors, in a almost dour tone of voice, said, there's only one particular issue which we're very concerned about, and that's that there's not enough Julius Caesar in your thesis. Now this is amusing, because the one example I keep on using time after time after time when I'm dealing with conspiracy theories is the assassination of Julius Caesar. It's a very, very good case of an actually historically verified conspiracy that no one contests. So whilst there are lots of other examples of exciting conspiracies out there that did actually occur, Elizabethan England is filled with them, you've got the Moscow show trials in 1930s Russia, all of these things take an awful lot of time to describe and give the right basis to. Whilst the death of Julius Caesar is actually mercifully simple, it's very easy to have a conversation about the death of Julius Caesar, because it's easy to go through the process of saying, look, the senators, they conspired in secret, because if they were conspiring in the open, then they would have been assassinated themselves by Julius Caesar's men, and so they conspired in secret to bring about the death of Julius Caesar, which they then did. It's a very good case of an actual historical conspiracy. And so I keep on using it again and again and again. The problem is I probably use it too much. I made the joke to one of my supervisors this afternoon, if I put any more Julius Caesar into my thesis, I'm going to be accused of actually writing a PhD in ancient history rather than philosophy. So I'm a little bit hesitant to continue putting in references to Julius Caesar throughout my thesis. Still, it is a very good example, and I have actually renamed the thesis temporarily, issues to do with the death of Julius Caesar, plus some musings on the epistemology of conspiracy theories. So I'm keeping a rather jovial tone about the fact that I go on and on and on about the death of the dictator. I've actually been to Rome and been to the burial, well, not the burial place, the place where Julius Caesar was burnt on a funeral pyre, where people still go to today to give offerings, and these aren't tourists who are going there, these are Roman citizens. The death of Julius Caesar is something which is still felt by the Roman populace today, 2,000 years later. So as you see, I'm doing a little bit of work, but occasionally going onto the internet and doing things on TweetDeck, my Twitter client of choice, checking my email, browsing my RSS feeds. But from time to time I actually do engage in this writing thing I call a PhD thesis. And as you can see, churning out words here, editing bits, rewriting bits, occasionally realizing I'm saying entirely the wrong thing and then starting it all over again. And that's the end.